Hey guys, so my name is Victoria Mandy and I'm going to crack on right in the middle of the whole entire story because I've been trying to wait for the perfect moment, of the perfect camera, the perfect setting to start this whole YouTube channel properly. I've had already uploaded a few old videos on there. If you go back, most of them are workout videos. However, I'm gonna start uploading a little bit more mindset and vlog type videos this time. I think one of the reasons why I didn't, why I've taken so long to post something is because I found just workout videos aren't really what I want to do, so I would have found them a little bit boring to be filming all the time. I am a personal trainer, I am a female transformation coach. The topics will be correlating to that. However, it's definitely not just going to be workout videos because nah, it's just a bit too much. I will potentially do some of that as well, especially if you guys want some, but regardless, let's crack on in the middle. Today's video is going to be Mental Health Awareness Week. Mental Health Awareness Week. I don't find this funny at all, by the way. It's just what I find funny is how I am unable to properly enunciate. So, Mental Health Awareness Week. The reason why I wanted to address this issue is because even though I deal with people's body mostly, I do believe that a transformation comes from a whole entire transformation of a person, and someone's mental health is very much part of it. And I also believe that far too often do we have to deal with, and far too widespread it is for someone to have an issue with their mental health. I don't just think anxiety and depression, which are unfortunately also really widespread, but equally I do believe eating disorders are also a form of mental health issue, which once again are all things that I need to address. Of course, I am not a professional, level, really highly qualified to train and treat anything like that. So I do refer. I don't believe I know everything. However, I know that I've dealt with my own issues and I have got some really good tools to do so. And so what I want to do today in this video is also give you a few tips on how you can potentially work through some of those. Now, I'm a believer of self-development consistently, and I do think this is one of the only ways of how you can actually deal with any of the above mentioned issues. I've worked and used these top tips, worked through them to use and help myself as well as many of my clients. You don't have to be severely depressed, and most often or not, if you are really unwell, then you do definitely need to not just be watching videos but reach out, talk to your GP, and they will refer you to the right place. However, if you have got coming and going depression, anxiety, I think it's a very common thing, to be honest. It's not really something that you need to be really scared of if it's a mild version of them. It's just something that you need to be aware of and be able to learn to control and deal with, really. So it's nothing to be ashamed of at all. Let's go through all my top 5 tips of how and what you can do to make yourself feel better and take things into your own hands and keep it under control. So I don't know if you've heard about this, but I think it might be fairly widespread nowadays. If you listen to any other YouTubers or even an entrepreneurs, everyday mindset work, and I do suggest for people to do this in the morning mainly because as you keep going on your day, you will potentially get, really busy, too busy, you forget. I think the easiest thing is to potentially wake up 15 minutes earlier, or even start out by waking up 5 minutes earlier, or even just when you get up, and instead of while you're laying in bed, instead of touching your phone straight away and going and scrolling on social media, just sort of try and take control of your own thoughts, and then be aware of your own thoughts really, and understand that you're able to control them, really. The easiest way to start out is when you wake up, open your eyes, try and be grateful for 3 to 5 things. Can be anything, could be coffee, could be the fact that you're alive, could be looking out the window and how sunny it is, could be obviously friends and family, anything really. There are a lot of neurological explanations as to why this is really good for you and why this works. However, I'm not going to go into that. Just take me for my word, and then if I get lots of comments and you want me to explain, I can do that as well, but this video otherwise will end up like 15 minutes longer, 50 minutes longer maybe. Right, so next, the second tip is be present. Once again, however easy this sounds, isn't easy at all. Anxiety is actually the issue of someone living in the future all the time. You're anxious of what's going to happen, and consistently worrying about the future. Depression is a sign of always living in the past, consistently thinking about something that you didn't do well, something that could have gone differently. You can try and anticipate the future, and in some ways it's a good thing to try to do so, but if you overdo it, it obviously leads to anxiety and it's not helpful at all. And you can't change the past, unfortunately. You can learn from it, but once again, you're not doing yourself any good if you're just consistently wasting your present dwelling on that. So try, and whenever you feel too anxious or whenever you feel really depressed, use that as some kind of a trigger. Recognize that you're doing that, and then try and make yourself be present. The best tip to do that, once again, is really easy. All I want you to do is take 3 to 5 really deep breaths through the nose and then out of your mouth, so going like this. And once again, this has a really good physiological explanation as to why this works, because it's got to do with how your breathing changes which part of your brain you're actually using. So you're using the conscious brain when you start doing this and taking yourself out of the flight or fight mode, which obviously is what creates all the anxiety and that kind of stuff. But once again, if you don't want me to be sending out hour-long videos, you're just going to have to take my word for it, give it a go, try and put that into your practice, your everyday life, and then see, and you can even comment below afterwards and see how that works for you. My third top tip is know your principles or your core values. You potentially, I think this is one of those things that we don't necessarily think about very consciously again. So when it comes to like topics such as like cheating or stuff like that, or lying, these are all the like big core values that we potentially all have our own opinions about those. So like you might say about yourself, and hopefully you say that I don't lie, I'm the kind of person that doesn't cheat on their partner that they live with or are with or going out with. Or you might be someone who has never actually set this out for themselves as a rule, and then so when it comes to any kind of situations where you are tested in some ways, or where you're put to make a choice, you might, if you don't have this rule, you might not have a very easy choice to make. Like, I know my own core values in these situations. It's not a question that I am not going to lie. I'm going to tell the truth, regardless of whether it's going to show me in like a bad or good light, or vice versa. It doesn't matter how drunk I am. It doesn't matter what happens. I'm not like cheating on my partner. And obviously these are just like the easiest things that like come to your head that I think most of the time people have actually got an opinion about. However, you have to try and think about other core values, such as, you know, friends and family. I am always there for my friends. I am the kind of person that doesn't neglect their family. I am the person that, you know, calls their mum or their grandparents every weekend. And really what you want to do is just like take some time. This is self-development. You have to pay attention to and take like set out time for yourself to then think those things through. So the problem is, I think, is that we often like neglect spending time with ourselves and then run around, rather than these things are actually important. And maybe because of how easy it is, it sounds easy, it isn't actually easy, but maybe because of how easy it sounds, because all you have to do is just sit there and think, is why people tend to really neglecting these things. So I think, well, it's not, I think this is definitely my top 3, my third tip of top 5, for you to be doing so. All of your core values, the clearer they are, the better it is. And then if you then week by week, day by day, sort of are able to draw a picture of the kind of person you want to be, the core values you want to have, you can then basically create your own little bright lines, almost like rules for yourself as to how you want to live your life. So then it helps you not be so confused when it comes to situations like that. I do think that because of how free we potentially are less free or more confused, because when you can do everything, when you feel like you can have everything and anything, then almost overstimulated. So you are free to make your own choices. You are free to decide who you want to be, but you are actually creating more of your own freedom if you create some rules for yourself, which you are free to change anytime, but you only help yourself by doing so, and then you can then get to where you actually want to get to. I hope that all makes sense. And then this then basically leads me to my last point, which is you have to start living like the person you want to be before you actually become that person, because you don't just say become an athlete and then start living like one. You have to live like an athlete, you have to live like a businessman or woman, you have to whoever you want to be you can, but you have to be patient with yourself and you have to start living like that person. So if you've got a clear idea of who you want to be, then that's going to then once again help you to create your own core values. Once again, then they're going to help you to create and imagine what like roles you need to do. You are the kind of person, so already talk to yourself like you are the kind of person that you want to become. So say you want to become an athlete, you go, I am the kind of person that wakes up every morning and goes to the gym, or I am the kind of person that doesn't skip the gym, or I'm the kind of person that always preps their food. That kind of stuff, really. Like for me, I have created these rules for myself. For me, I didn't start out living my life feeling like it isn't a question whether I'm going to train or not. For me, that is something that I've programmed into my own brain, into my own thoughts deliberately, so that when someone asks me whether I'm going to the gym or not, it's like, what are you even asking me? I am going to the gym, like it's not a question. And I don't even go to the gym anymore like, oh, gotta go to the gym again. It's not like gotta go, it's part of my life. And that's the same with diet as well. It's not like, oh God, I need to cook my chicken and sweet potatoes or whatever it is. Oh no, oh God, I need to track my macros. I am the kind of person that does that. That is part of my life. That is me. And that's what you have to do. And as you change your lifestyle, you are then gonna get the body you want as well. So if we're taking this all back to like a body transformation, your body represents your lifestyle. If you live a healthy life, you're going to have a healthy and good looking body. Obviously a good looking body, an aesthetic body is what we all like to achieve, is actually a sign of health. Abs are a sign of health, muscles are a sign of strength. So all of that just represents a lifestyle. So think about that, you guys. I hope all of this helped. This was slightly out of the blue, but equally, if you do follow me on Instagram, then you know that I've been posting loads of like mindset stuff anyway. If you are any one of my clients, you potentially have heard either half of this or all of this, or in some ways I have been talking to you in your ear whilst I was also trying to train you. So I thought I might release all of this out there, and I know I've helped a lot of people up till now with just my talks and stuff, so potentially hopefully I'll be able to help all of you guys as well. So click like, click subscribe. I'll try and be a little bit more frequent with my videos, and then yeah, if you comment all your questions, I'll be answering as soon as I can.